Poems of Pilgrimage by Thomas Hardy. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Alan Mapstone. V.R. 1819 to 1901. A Reverie. Moments the mightiest pass uncalendared, and when the Absolute in backward time outgave the deedful word whereby all life is stirred, let one be born and throned whose mould shall constitute the norm of every royal reckoned attribute, no mortal knew or heard. But in due days the purposed life outshone, serene, sagacious, free. Her waxing seasons bloomed with deeds well done, and the world's heart was won. Yet may the deed of hers most bright in eyes to be lie hid from ours, as in the All One's thought lay she, till ripening years have run. Sunday night, 27th of January 1901. End of poem. Genoa and the Mediterranean by Thomas Hardy. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. March 1887. O epic famed, God-haunted central sea, heave careless of the deep wrong done to thee, when from Torino's track I saw thy face first flash on me, and multi-marbled Genova the proud gleam all unconscious how, wide-lipped, up-browed, I first beheld thee clad, not as the beauty, but the dowd. Out from a deep-delved way my vision lit on housebacks pink, green, ochreous, where a slit shoreward twixt row and row revealed the classic blue through it. And there across waved fishwives' high-hung smocks, chrome kerchiefs, scarlet hose, darned under frocks, since when too oft my dreams of thee, O Queen, that frippery mocks. Whereat I grieve, superba, after hours, within Palazzo Doria's orange bowers, went far to mend these marrings of thy soul-subliming powers. But, Queen, such squalid undress none should see, those dream-endangering eye-wombs no more be, where lovers first behold thy form in pilgrimage to thee. End of poem. Shelley's Skylark by Thomas Hardy. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. The neighbourhood of Leghorn, March 1887. Somewhere afield here something lies, in earth's oblivious, eyeless trust, that moved a poet to prophecies, a pinch of unseen, unguarded dust. The dust of the lark that Shelley heard, and made immortal through times to be, though it only lived like another bird, and knew not its immortality. Lived its meek life, then one day fell, a little ball of feather and bone, and how it perished when piped farewell, and where it wastes, are alike unknown. Maybe it rests in the loam I view, maybe it throbs in a myrtle's green, maybe it sleeps in the coming hue of a grape on the slopes of yon inland scene. Go find it, fairies, go and find that tiny pinch of priceless dust, and bring a casket silver lined, and framed of gold that gems encrust. And we will lay it safe therein, and consecrate it to endless time, for it inspired a bard to win ecstatic heights in thought and rhyme. End of poem. In the Old Theatre, Fiesole, by Thomas Hardy. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. April 1887. I traced the circus whose grey stones incline where Rome and dim Etruria interjoin, till came a child who showed an ancient coin that bore the image of a Constantine. She lightly passed, nor did she once opine how, better than all books, she had raised for me, in swift perspective, Europe's history, through the vast years of Caesar's sceptred line. For in my distant plot of English loam 'twas but to delve, and straightway there to find coins of like impress, as with one half blind, whom common simples cure, her act flashed home in that mute moment to my opened mind, the power, the pride, the reach of perished Rome. End of poem. Rome on the Palatine, by Thomas Hardy. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. April 1887. We walked where Victor Jove was shrined awhile, and passed to Livia's rich red mural show, whence, thridding cave and crypto portico, we gained Caligula's dissolving pile, and each ranked ruin tended to beguile the outer sense, and shape itself as though it wore its marble hues, its pristine glow of scenic frieze and pompous peristyle. When lo, swift hands on strings nigh overhead began to melodize a waltz by Strauss. It stirred me as I stood in Caesar's house, raised the old routes imperial lyres had led, and blended pulsing life with lives long done, till time seemed fiction, past and present one. End of poem. Rome, building a new street in the ancient quarter, by Thomas Hardy. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. April 1887. These numbered cliffs and gnarls of masonry out-skeleton time's central city, Rome, whereof each arch, entablature, and dome lies bare in all its gaunt anatomy, and cracking frieze and rotten metope express, as though they were an open tome, top-lined with caustic monetary gnome, dunces learn here to spell humanity. And yet within these ruins' very shade the singing workmen shape and set and join their frail new mansions, stuccoed cove and coin, with no apparent sense that years abrade, though each rent wall their feeble works invade, once shamed all such in power of peer and groin. End of poem. Rome, The Vatican-Sala delle Muse by Thomas Hardy. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. 1887. I sat in the Muse's hall at the mid of the day, and it seemed to grow still, and the people to pass away, and the chiselled shapes to combine in a haze of sun, till beside a Carrara column there gleamed forth one. She was nor this nor that of those beings divine, but each and the whole, and essence of all the nine. With tentative foot she neared to my halting place, a pensive smile on her sweet, small, marvellous face. Regarded so long, we render thee sad, said she. Not you, sighed I, but my own inconstancy. I worship each and each, in the morning one, and then, alas, another at sink of sun. To-day my soul clasps form, but where is my troth of yesternight with June? Can one cleave to both? Be not perturbed, said she, though apart in fame, as I and my sisters are one, those two are the same. But my loves go further, to story and dance and hymn. The lover of all in a sun-sweep is full to whim, is swayed like a river weed as the ripples run. Nay, wight, thou swayest not, these are but phases of one. And that one is I, and I am projected from thee, one that out of thy brain and heart thou causest to be. Extern to thee nothing, grieve not, nor thyself becall, woo where thou wilt, and rejoice thou canst love at all. End of poem. Rome. At the Pyramid of Cestius, near the graves of Shelley and Keats, by Thomas Hardy. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. 1887. Who then was Cestius, and what is he to me? Amid thick thoughts and memories multitudinous, one thought alone brings he. I can recall no word of anything he did. For me he is a man who died and was interred to leave a pyramid whose purpose was expressed not with its first design, nor till far down in time beside it found their rest two countrymen of mine. Cestius in life may be, slew, breathed out threatening, I know not. This I know, in death all silently he does a kindlier thing, in beckoning pilgrim feet with marble finger high, to where, my shadowy wall and history-haunted street, those matchless singers lie. Say then he lived and died, that stones which bear his name should mark through time where two immortal shades abide. It is an ample fame. End of poem. Lausanne. In Gibbon's Old Garden, 11 to 12 p.m. by Thomas Hardy. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. June 27th, 1897. The 110th anniversary of the completion of the Decline and Fall at the same hour and place. A spirit seems to pass, formal in pose, but grave and grand withal. He contemplates a volume stout and tall, and far lamps fleck him through the thin acacias. Anon the book is closed with "It is finished," And at the alley's end he turns, and soon on me his glances bend. And as from earth comes speech, small, muted, yet composed. How fares the truth now? Ill? Do pens but slyly further her advance? May one not speed her but in phrase askance? Do scribes aver the comic to be reverend still? Still rule those minds on earth at whom sage Milton's wormwood words were hurled? Truth like a bastard comes into the world, never without ill fame to him who gives her birth. End of poem. Zermatt to the Matterhorn by Thomas Hardy. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. June, July 1897. 32 years since, up against the sun, 7 shapes, thin atomies to lower sight, labouringly leapt and gained thy gabled height, and 4 lives paid for what the 7 had won. They were the first by whom the deed was done, and when I look at thee, my mind takes flight to that day's tragic feat of manly might, as though, till then, of history thou hadst none. Yet ages ere man topped thee, late and soon, thou watched each night the planets lift and lower. Thou gleam'st to Joshua's pausing sun and moon, and bravest the tokening sky when Caesar's power approached its bloody end. Yea, saw'st that noon, when darkness filled the earth, till the 9th hour. End of poem. The Bridge of Lodi by Thomas Hardy. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Spring 1887. When of tender mind and body I was moved by minstrelsy, and that strain, the Bridge of Lodi, brought a strange delight to me. In the battle-breathing jingle of its forward-footing tune, I could see the armies mingle, and the columns cleft and hewn. On that far-famed spot by Lodi, where Napoleon clove his way to his fame, when like a god he bent the nations to his sway. Hence the tune came capering to me, while I traced the Rhone and Po, nor could Millen's marvel woo me from the spot englamoured so. And today, sunlit and smiling, here I stand upon the scene, with its saffron walls done tiling, and its meads of maiden green. Even as when the trackway thundered with the charge of grenadiers, and the blood of 40 splashed its parapets and piers. Any ancient crone-eyed toady, like a lass in young-eyed prime, could she tell some tales of Lodi at that moving mighty time. So I asked the wives of Lodi for traditions of that day, but alas, not anybody seems to know of such a fray. And they heed but transitory marketings in cheese and meat, till I judge that Lodi's story is extinct in Lodi's street. Yet while here and there they thrid them in their zest to sell and buy, let me sit me down amid them and behold those thousands die. Not a creature cares in Lodi how Napoleon swept each arch, or where up and downward trod he, or for his memorial march. So that wherefore should I be here, watching Ada lip the lea, when the whole romance to see here is the dream I bring with me? And why sing the Bridge of Lodi, as I sit thereon and swing, when none shows by smile or nod he guesses why or what I sing? Since all Lodi low and head ones seem to pass that story by, it may be the Lodi bred ones rate it truly, and not I. Once engrossing Bridge of Lodi, is thy claim to glory gone? Must I pipe a palinody, or be silent thereupon? And if here from strand to steeple be no stone to fame the fight, must I say the Lodi people are but viewing crime aright? Nay, I'll sing the Bridge of Lodi, that long-loved romantic thing, though none show by smile or nod he guesses why and what I sing. End of poem. On an Invitation to the United States by Thomas Hardy. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. My ardours for emprise nigh lost, since life has bared its bones to me, I shrink to seek a modern coast, whose riper times have yet to be, where the new regions claim them free from that long drip of human tears, which peoples old in tragedy have left upon the centuried years. For woning in these ancient lands, enchased and lettered as a tomb, and scored with prints of perished hands, and chronicled with dates of doom, though my own being bear no bloom, I trace the lives such scenes enshrine, give past exemplars present room, and their experience count as mine. End of poem. End of Poems of Pilgrimage by Thomas Hardy. Read by Alan Mapstone in Oxford, England.